Greetings to you, my friends. Welcome to the first edition of Porch Reflections. We're going to be taking a look over the next series of weeks in what it's all about in growing disciples that impact lives. These particular reflections came about the other day when I was sitting on the porch doing some reading and some reflecting and some thinking, and thus starts what happens when you're doing reflection. Life has really been a journey filled with blessings and trials, journey filled with ups and downs, and a journey filled with joys and sorrows. In the early years of my life, I started out as a lifelong learner, and that's continued throughout my life. I grew up with parents who thought it was very important to grow and develop through hard work, chores, and learning by doing. I watched my parents as an example of what it means to truly care about others. I grew by being around church workers who were great examples. Richard Moss, who was principal of the parochial school that I attended. And later in high school, Dr. George Beto, who made a tremendous impact in my life as well. We'll talk more about these two gentlemen later in future reflections, the Porch Reflections. Large number of Israelites never felt more alone than when they were carried away in exile as captives to Babylon. There they were literally on the other side of the world, eating strange food, hearing a strange language, and seeing strange faces all around them. But there's an interesting twist to this very difficult time in the life of God's people. And that's because of the focus of the future that Jeremiah shared in his letter explaining how the people were to conduct themselves during their exile. Jeremiah 29 verse 10 talks about the 70 years that they were told that they would be in exile and what they were to do while in exile: to build houses, plant gardens, marry, have families, find spouses for their children, and pray for the prosperity of their captors so that they themselves would prosper. Sort of the rising water floats all boats mentality. These instructions were intended to keep the Israelites from getting bogged down and deteriorating mentally and physically. Staying active and occupied in worthwhile pursuits is always good advice in difficult times. Jeremiah quoted God himself when he said, "When 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will come to you and fulfill my gracious promise to bring you back to this place. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." On the days when you think your future just left town, or just went up in smoke, or just disappeared, don't believe it. God always has been and always will be your future. He knows the plans He has for you, and He will reveal them to you one day at a time. We'll be exploring more reflections on how to grow as disciples and impact lives. We'll grow by sharing with you some of my own experiences and how those impacted my life and how they continue to impact my life today. For you see, we continue on the journey that God knows and reveals to us on a regular basis. Until next time, may the Lord reveal His plans for you each and every day. God bless.